Welcome to another episode of Tales from the Collection. Today I'm going to show you some of the wonderful responses that I got from sending fan mail to celebrities, athletes, and authors. You're going to see responses from people like Rachel Zegler, Jenna Fischer, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Steve Buscemi, and many, many more. So hang in there and we're going to check it out. All right, we're starting off strong with 3 signed playbills right here. I got one from Rachel Zegler here from Romeo and Juliet. This one's signed by Zachary Quinto, who was on the show Heroes, which I loved back in the day. And I got one from the cast of Death Becomes Her. All 3 of these are beautifully signed. A little bit of smudging on this one, and unfortunately, a good deal of smudging on this one. But this one came out pretty darn perfect. Maybe a little bit right there, but sometimes that happens. They got a lot of requests to do, so either they're signing them quick and piling them up, or sticking them into envelopes quickly, perhaps, but probably just piling up in a big stack, and sometimes the ink gets smudged before it gets time to dry, but that's all right. I still got some really cool successes. Super excited about this one in particular. Rachel Zegler is awesome, so happy about that. All right, here's a great one from famed astronomer Neil deGrasse Tyson. I sent him a pretty lengthy Q&A. Unfortunately, he didn't have time to respond, but he clearly appreciated that and sent me 2 signed copies of his books and a little note saying, Tim, no time to answer all of your questions, but perhaps these 2 enclosed books get you part of the way. So, I love hearing what he has to say. I'm listening to one of his audiobooks right now, and I will show you what the signed page looks like right here. Love the script that he uses. Very, very old school. Very, very nice. For Tim, he who is internally curious, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Absolutely love that inscription. Let's see in the other one. And look, he did do also 2 index cards for me here. Awesome. Totally awesome. Love the calligraphy. And boom. Letters from an Astrophysicist, Neil deGrasse Tyson. So 2 really cool books. I'm very much looking forward to reading, or perhaps getting the audiobook for, so I can listen to them in the car. Very nice letter, and 2 index cards signed. Man went above and beyond. Even provided his own envelope, paid for the postage himself, $5.38 out of the own man's pocket from the Natural History Museum. So very kind of him, super generous guy. Very happy to get the success. Thank you so much, Neil. I love seeing you on podcasts and hearing you talk about space and the stars and physics and all that great stuff. So definitely looking forward to these 2 incredible books. Thank you so much. And my apologies to everybody who enjoys seeing these success videos. It has been a while. This one came back all the way in either late December or early January from, of course, Sean Astin, the one and only. He signed here, and I think a very thin Sharpie. Got a little bit smudged on that one. And same thing here. Could be a ballpoint pen. I'm not exactly sure. It's so thin, but I think it was a thin Sharpie. He signed, this is not his home address. This is from the hotel that he was staying at, because he was on Broadway doing the play Elf. And he was staying at a hotel there. He sent it from the hotel. No longer there, so unfortunately this address is no longer valid. But yeah, Sean Astin, what an incredible dude. Signed 2 out of 2 photos for me. I saw a lot of people getting some great successes, so he's very kind, very thoughtful. Thank you, Sean. All right, and here's another success from Auli'i Cravalho. She is, of course, the voice of Moana. She signed this one to my 2 kids, Owen and Emma, upon my request. This one is going to go up in their room, and she inscribed it Love and Aloha, Auli'i, and I don't know, super stoked about the success. I think these Disney lithographs look super cool, and it looks awesome that she signed it, so looking forward to getting this in a frame and stuck in one of the kids' rooms. All right, now we got one from Brinley Reece. She was very responsive to me. She signed not 1, but 2 photos, 2 index cards, and responded to my Q&A with handwritten responses. Looks a little bit crazy with the multicolors because it bled through from the other side. But very nice that she wrote in different colors to kind of help distinguish that. But if you want to see this interview that I did with her, it's about 10 questions. She did some very thorough, nice responses that will shortly be posted at talesfromthecollection.com/interviews. So go ahead and check that out. Should be up there very shortly. Probably by the time you're watching this, it's there. All right, here's another one that I got from Broadway. This one is from actress Zoey Deutch. She looks like she was signing basically one photo per every person. That didn't stop me from trying to get a second one. Unfortunately, she only signed one, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. I really appreciate the kindness and generosity that she did signing the one photo and dedicated even to me, to Tim. And that one's going to go in a frame for sure, I think. Love the photo. Came out really good. Unfortunately, this letter got a little bit mangled in the mail. It came in a bubble mailer with a bunch of cool stuff, which I'm about to show you in a second. But this is from Scott Cawthon. He is the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's, the video game franchise that went on to spawn the movie. He sent some really cool stuff for the kids, which I'm going to show you now. Scott was kind enough to send my kids all of this great Five Nights at Freddy's stuff: 8 pencils, 4 bouncy balls, a bitty pop, this wonderful plushie, and a signed Five Nights at Freddy's photo negative glam rock Freddy. So this is really cool. This one's going to go on display. The kids are going to open these all up and play with them. It's going to be a great time. Really appreciate the kind gesture, giving my 2 kids all this great stuff, and there's enough stuff divided equally amongst them. There's not going to be any fighting. It's going to be a wonderful time. So really appreciate that. All right, here's another great response. This one is from artist Dan Davis. He signed 2 index cards, included his own with some really cool art on there. It's not hand done or anything, but it's cool copies of some of his art that he's done, working for Batman, Garfield, and Scooby-Doo, and also responded to my Q&A. Again, 10 questions with some nice responses, which you can find on tellsreflection.com/interviews. All right, here's another one that kind of took a while for me to get onto video. First one is from Jenna Fischer, of course, from The Office. Very lovely of her to sign 2 index cards for me. Next one coming from Shelly Conn, and she also included her own Christmas card here. Thank you for the kind letter. Wishing you a lovely festive time this year. Best, Shelly Conn. Really liked getting this one. Very nice personal touch on there. And of course, the 2 index cards that I sent. And I think this is, I think she hand did this card. Like, I think this is her painting and all that stuff, which is really cool. I really like that and appreciate that. So thank you very much, Shelly. All right, we got some cool responses here. First one coming from Steve Buscemi. Really happy to get this one back. To Tim, all the best, Steve Buscemi, January 2025. I got this one from Jürgen Prochnow. And then finally one here from Victoria Vetri, and she's of course a famous model, and I sent her actually 2 requests. One of them she responded with a photo which got badly mangled in the mail, and then she signed my 2 index cards. So yeah, there you go. Pretty cool response despite it getting mangled by the USPS, but I forgive them. It's all right. Caitriona Balfe sent me this wonderful response. Well, I suppose her agent did, Emtage Hallett. They sent me this photo in kind of a smaller envelope, which did not fit, unfortunately, so they kind of bent it in half to get it in there, but, you know, what you're going to do about it, that's okay. Still looks good, kind of flattened out pretty nicely, so thank you very much. All right, we've got 3 more great successes here. The first one coming from Anika Noni Rose. You might know her as the voice of Tiana from The Princess and the Frog. She sent this nice signed index card with a little QR code for one of her books. And then coming from Danny Trejo, he went ahead and sent me, well, I sent him these 3 cards, and he signed all 3 of them for me very nicely, by the way. They are chrome cards, so I did have some concern that they were going to come back smudged from the ink, but Danny was very nice with them. He waited for the ink to dry, and they came back, I mean, looking perfect. Maybe a little bit of smudge on that one, but very good looking cards. Super happy with Danny. Thank you very much. And then finally here, Gemma Arterton, and she's of course known for Game of Thrones. She was kind enough to sign 2 index cards for me. All right, here's 3 more successes for you. This one coming from Clara Paget. She wrote 2 nice inscriptions on here. Thank you for the letter. Much love, Clara, and dear Tim, much love, Clara. Really appreciate those 2 index cards that she sent me. Next 2 from Andrea Lee. Signed 2 index cards there. And then finally from Ashley Hobbs. As you can tell, she's a model. And sent her a Q&A. Didn't feel like responding to him, but sent me a very nice reply. Sent her own trading card and signed my 2 index cards. So, you know, what more can you ask for? All right, I got 4 more for you here. Perhaps this one should have gone with the last segment, but Erika Jordan right here, she also sent me a nice signed Benchwarmers card, 2 signed index cards there. And she did respond to my Q&A, which you can find a whole bunch of interviews with models on talesfromcollection.com/interviews in case you forgot. Christopher Neame, and he signed 2 index cards here. Tim with love and best wishes, Christopher. Heather Langenkamp from Nightmare on Elm Street. She signed 2 and did also respond to my Q&A. The answers were a little bit short, so you're probably not going to find it actually uploaded to talesfromcollection.com, but it was still nice to get some responses from her. And finally, Peter Lyon. This has definitely already been uploaded. He gave me a very nice interview, spent his time doing thorough and detailed responses. And of course, he is the master swordsmith for Weta, and they did all the props for the Lord of the Rings movies. They're based in New Zealand, and him and Weta themselves were super cooperative and facilitating and very good sports about the interview. So highly appreciate Peter and Weta for their assistance in that. All right. Last but certainly not least, I got 2 more successes for you here. This one from Håkon Asnes. He did 2 wonderful index card sketches for me with signatures there. And then this one from Robert Dixon, who is part of the Tuskegee Airmen. He signed 2 index cards and gave me this photo printout of a portrait of him that he also signed. Well, that about wraps it up. Thank you guys so much for being with me once again. It's really great to show some of my successes with you guys and show you who is responding to fan mail. If you like this kind of content, please follow me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and go ahead and check out some of those interviews that I mentioned on talesfromthecollection.com. It's been a great time having you guys here, and I look forward to sharing more successes with you in the months to come. Happy collecting.